My name is Ava, and I learned something very important this year. A bank can freeze your money, but they should never try to freeze your courage. Because when the world pushes you into a corner, that's where revenge is born. It started one Monday morning. I tried paying for coffee. My card declined. I thought maybe the machine glitched, but it declined again. Embarrassed, I checked my banking app, and my account showed $0. Empty! I almost fainted. I called the bank immediately. After waiting on hold for an hour, the man said casually, "Your account is under review." Under review? All my salary, bills, rent, frozen without warning? I asked why. He said, "We can't disclose that information," and hung up. That night, I couldn't sleep. My rent was due in 3 days, groceries gone, car payment ready to bounce. The bank didn't care. They treated me like a criminal. 3 days later, they sent a letter. Not an apology, not a reason, just one line. Review may take 30 days. 30 days? 30 days without money? Without food? Without living? I went to the bank branch in person. The manager, Mr. Collins, didn't even look at me properly, tapping his pen like I was a waste of his time. He said, "These are standard checks. You must wait," and smirked. His smirk is what broke me. I walked out of the branch with rage boiling in my veins, thinking how many others had suffered like me, how many people they froze out of their own lives. I promised myself that day, "You froze my money, I'll freeze your reputation." I worked in tech security for a major marketing company, so I knew how important brand trust was, especially for banks. I started digging into public complaints. Thousands of them. People crying, losing homes, losing businesses, all because of this bank. And guess what? Mr. Collins was the one who signed almost every freeze request. He didn't protect customers, he fed on them. I created a private folder called Operation Icebreaker. Night after night, I collected evidence, screenshots of victim stories, legal documents, whistleblower claims, thousands of files. I recorded my own situation too, every rude call, every refusal, every lie. I secretly recorded that manager telling me, "You should save better if you can't survive a month." That sentence became my fuel. Then I made a website. A public one, where anyone could post their bank freeze experience anonymously. It went live at midnight. By sunrise, 900 people had posted. The hashtag I created, hashtag #FreezeThemBack, started trending. News channels contacted me. People marched outside branches. Shares of the bank crashed 12% in a single day. I stood across the street watching the chaos unfold, their fancy glass buildings shaking under pressure they never expected. But that wasn't revenge yet. Revenge was coming. On day 19 of my freeze, the bank's legal team emailed me. "Cease and desist." I laughed. I posted it publicly. Millions saw how scared they were. Then my phone rang. The caller ID said, "Bank corporate call." I answered. A shaky voice said, "Ava, we would like to resolve your concern. Can you come for a meeting?" Resolve my concern? They destroyed my life for weeks. Now they were begging? I walked in confidently, sat down. The manager and corporate team looked pale. They said it was an automated mistake. A mistake that lasts a month? A mistake that ruins lives? I stared at Mr. Collins. He avoided eye contact like a coward. They quietly pushed a document toward me. Sign this NDA, we'll unlock your funds and give you compensation. Compensation? Unlock my own money? I pushed the paper back and said, I don't want hush money. I want an apology from him. Silence choked the room. Mr. Collins scoffed. We will not apologize to a... He froze. His face drained white. He was staring at my phone, recording everything. I smiled calmly and whispered, You froze my life for 30 days. I just returned the favor to your reputation. His jaw clenched. His eyes shook. His hands trembled. I stood up, walked toward the door. And that's when everything changed. My phone buzzed. I checked the notification. Bank account closed permanently. Funds seized for further investigation. They didn't unlock my money. They locked my life. I looked back at the room. They stared at me like predators who just cornered their prey. The manager grinned and said, You should have signed the papers. Now, it wasn't war. It was personal. They thought freezing my money was enough. Now, I was going to take the entire bank down. For real. The moment the bank closed my account forever, something darker awakened in me. They thought they could bury me, silence me, starve me. They didn't know I wasn't a victim anymore. I was a storm. I walked outside the bank, heart racing, vision shaking with anger, and made a promise. If they want to destroy my life, I will destroy their empire. I spent the next week living on cheap noodles and borrowed cash, but my brain was awake all night, creating the perfect plan. First step, expose the corruption. I dug deeper into public financial records, old lawsuits, hidden government documents. I searched everything that had the bank's name on it. What I found made my blood boil. They froze people's accounts to take their interest money, billions stolen, disguised as security protocols. And the person approving most of those freezes? Mr. Collins. He wasn't a manager. He was a criminal wearing a tie. I collected every piece of proof in a single file. Title, The Freeze Protocol. Next step, I scheduled a live stream. No NDA could silence me now. People from every state joined, victims crying, citizens angry, employees quitting on camera, and then I dropped the bomb. I leaked every secret, every document, every recording, every voice message, every crime. The live stream hit 12 million views in 24 hours. The internet didn't forgive. They attacked, like a wave of justice finally released. The bank's stock collapsed. Investors panicked. Celebrities called them thieves. Politicians demanded investigation. And then the FBI stepped in. Headlines everywhere. Bank under federal investigation for customer funds fraud. I smiled as I watched the news. But the best part hadn't happened yet. A week later, I received a letter. Not an email. A paper letter. It said, Your evidence led to arrests. Your frozen funds will be returned with full compensation. We thank you for your service. And on the bottom, it listed those arrested. Collins, Marcus, Chief of Account Freezing Division, charged with fraud, blackmail, embezzlement. They didn't just fire him, they arrested him in front of everyone. And I saw the footage. The same fear he once enjoyed giving others was now destroying him. His hands in cuffs, his name splashed across every TV, his life ruined. Justice tasted like fire, and I loved it. But the story wasn't over, because revenge isn't just about winning. It's about healing what they broke. So I took the compensation, bought a tiny media studio, hired people who suffered like me, and together we created a global watchdog channel to protect people from banks. We called it The Unfrozen Voices. In the first video, I looked into the camera and said, "I'm Ava. A bank froze my money, so I froze their reputation." Millions subscribed instantly. People cheered. People felt hope again. Weeks later, I got a final letter from prison. From him. "You destroyed me. Why couldn't you just sign the papers?" I wrote one sentence back. "You should have apologized." He never replied. He knows he lost. My money is safe. My life is mine. And today, if a bank tries to hurt someone, the world will hear the scream before they even finish the freeze request. Because they learned one thing from me. If you freeze the wrong person, be ready for the meltdown.